Hi everybody, Stefano Garrisi here, and today on the Food Funatic, I'm in St. Clair Shores, Michigan, right here at Gaudino's, where they serve classic pasta dishes, pizzas, sandwiches, and even homemade sausage. I heard you can eat, drink, and shop here. I'm ready. Are you? Let's get it. All right, so I'm inside Gaudino's, and I'm joined here with the owner, Jo Marie Amato. How you doing?
Good, Stefano. How are you?
Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh my God, thank you so much for coming in. I'm so excited. We have the Food Funatic here at Gaudino's. That's pretty darn cool.
Listen, that's awesome. I'm blessed to be here, and look, just by judging by the outside and walking in, seeing all the great things you have, I mean, I didn't know what to do first. Do I eat? Do I shop? What do you do first? But it looks like we're gonna drink first.
We're gonna drink, we're gonna have some wine.
Let's, first of all, I want to cheers to your success, because it looks like you got a great operation going right now, so let's cheers to that first to get things started.
Thank you. And you said we're gonna eat, we're gonna drink, we're gonna shop, and that's our motto. Gaudino's Eat, Drink, Shop.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have an amazing restaurant, we have a market where you can shop and
of course, the great drinks, right?
Yeah.
So what I want to find out is, there's a lot of family tradition. I noticed there were some pictures on the wall. I know some of the history being in the Italian community, that I know there's a lot of tradition baked into this place. And I really want to get an understanding of how you got started and how this place came to be.
I will. So I will take you back to the 1940s.
Oh, all right. Take it back.
My grandfather, Peter Gaudino,
Okay.
had a small little Italian market in Detroit, at Mack and Drexel in Detroit.
Okay.
Gaudino's imports, and he had fine Italian cheeses and olives and fresh meats, lunch meats, so on and so forth. So that was his little market in Detroit called Gaudino's.
Perfect.
Fast forward a few years, my mother and father got married.
Okay.
My maiden name is actually Genovese. So my father, Jack Genovese, joined the business of my grandfather, Peter Gaudino, and my mom and dad took the business over.
Okay.
In 1971, they built the building that we are sitting in right now.
Oh, wow, okay.
And moved Gaudino's from Detroit to St. Clair Shores.
Really?
Yeah, and my grandfather was actually still alive at the time, so he did come over here with them, but my parents ran the business, and at that time, my sister Sandy, my brother John, worked in the business with my parents. I was still a little girl at that point, but I used to love to come here and play when I was, at that time in the early 70s.
So this is like your playground. This is family owned and operated.
It was so fun. I used to come in and eat the olives and just. Well, fast forward that to the early 80s, and a very nice young gentleman named Tom Amato came and worked here at Gaudino's. I looked at Tom Amato and love at first sight. Tom and I fell in love, and in the mid-80s we got married.
Beautiful.
Shortly after we got married, my dad actually decided to retire, so sold everything.
Wow.
A complete different business. Well, it was still an Italian market that came in here.
Sure.
But he sold the building, the business, everything. Well, Tom Amato, that cute boy I told you about from the early 80s, at that time was starting to invest in real estate. And actually surprised me one day. And he came home and he said, "Honey, I bought Gaudino's." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I bought the building back. I bought the Gaudino building back." I'm like, crying, I can't believe you did this, excited at the same time. So then it was like, what are we going to do with it?
Sure.
And at one point we said, well, we could turn it into an office building and just call it the Gaudino building, in honor of my grandfather and my father, who then ran the business. And then I looked at my husband and I said, "You want to bring Gaudino's back?" And he said, "You want to?" And
you're all
we
in,
did.
Right?
And we were all in. And I joke about the gun. It's been absolutely incredible. One of the things that the old Gaudino's was known for is our Italian sausage. And so both my husband Tom and my brother-in-law Sal used to make the sausage back in the day. They remembered the recipe, and we have our Italian sausage back that we sell and use in many of our dishes in the restaurant.
That sounds phenomenal. So your husband really gained some great brownie points by buying this beautiful place back.
Yeah.
You guys renovated it. I mean, it looks so sharp, so
Thank
sleek.
you.
The
Thank you.
ambiance on the inside from the outside, super eye-catching. So even though you said, hey, this building was back in the 70s and beyond, it looks like you just built it yesterday.
Yeah, we took the original building and we modified it. One thing that was really important to me is that we kept the arches that are over there, the
Okay.
windows. That to me was the old Gaudino, so I wanted to make sure we kept that in the new building, and so we did, and gutted it and just recreated.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I'd love to take a look around and see some of this history, and certainly I'm going to get to meet Sal and Chef Joe.
Yes.
And so we're going to have sandwiches, we're going to have pasta, we're going to have hopefully maybe dessert even too, so,
Yeah.
and try some of this wonderful sausage that
Great.
is your claim to fame and your family heir. So
Thank you.
I really can't wait to check it out. So will you
Good.
join me on a quick
let's go
walk?
walk around. I'll
Let's
show
go
you
check it
around.
out. Sounds good.
I love Gaudino's. I love the food. The atmosphere is great. And probably one of the best things I like about it. I used to work here a long time ago when it was actually the meat market. So it's got a lot of memory to me, and everything's always top notch.
All right, so we're now in the kitchen. This is where all the magic happens. I'm with Chef Joe. How you doing, Chef?
Good, how are you?
Really nice to meet you. I heard.
You too, thanks for coming.
Hey, I heard you were really, truly the cornerstone for this restaurant, and this is where all the great stuff happens, and you're super talented, so now you got to live up to the hype,
Okay.
right? So tell us what you're making here
So
tonight.
here at Gaudino's, one thing that we are very famous for is our family recipe of the Genovese family is the homemade Italian sausage. So one of the things we do here with our homemade Italian sausage is we make a pasta dish called pasta porcellino. And in our dialect, my dialect from the region of Italy we're from, the porcellino just stands for like a baby pig.
Okay.
And so what we're doing here, since we use the pork to make the porcellino, this is how we go about doing it. So you can get this at any supermarket or right here at Gaudino's, is cut the casing open and just pull the sausage out of the casing like this. Very easy. Split it, and once you have it out of the casing, just kind of gently ground it up with your fingers. Hey, you want to make sure your skillet is nice and hot. If you like sausage, add a little bit more. I find that 1 link per person is enough. So to this, as we get the hot skillet and we're starting to brown our sausage, with either a fork or a spoon that you have at home, we're just going to kind of brown it off a bit. Okay, and to that, you're going to add some fresh grape tomatoes, Roma tomatoes, any kind of tomato you'd like. Here we use a little bit of grape tomato.
Usually get the sweetness probably, right?
Correct.
Sweet
You're gonna
apple.
break them
Yeah.
down, and as this cooks down a little bit, it's going to kind of make a little bit of start to make a sauce a little bit with the tomatoes. As we cook it here, we have just a little fresh garlic, and then we're going to deglaze the pan a little bit with a little bit of white wine.
Is there any specific kind of white wine, or just
a
any
nice-
general?
Just a nice little dry white wine.
Okay.
Okay.
And you can smell that aroma coming off already, right?
And we're just going to keep on breaking down the tomatoes a little bit and squashing them down to kind of create a little bit of a nice sauce. Okay, so once we have added the white wine and the sausage is fairly cooked through and the tomatoes are starting to break down, as you can see, they're starting to become make a nice little sauce here.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we do is we take some of our pomodoro sauce
Okay.
that we make here, and we
So this is made homemade, right?
This is a
in-house,
homemade, yes,
right?
our homemade pomodoro sauce. We use our whole peeled tomatoes, and we just add a little bit of our pomodoro sauce to our sausage, and we're going to finish cooking. And so now after about 4 or 5 minutes, you can see the consistency of our sauce, and the sausage is fully cooked now. And we do is just kind of lighten it up just to give it a little bit of richness. I just about a tablespoon or two of a little bit of cream,
Okay.
and just let that cream just kind of reduce down a bit.
So almost similar to like a light palomino sauce?
Yes, similar, but not as much cream.
Okay. So just a little.
We don't
light,
want to
yeah.
take away from the taste of the sausage, and then we add our I use here mezzo rigatoni here.
Yes.
Typically, normally here, we always cook your pasta al dente. If you ever pasta cooked al dente, the last 2 minutes of the pasta we'd like to finish cooking in our sauce. That way all the gravy, all the sauce gets into the grain of the pasta, and it finishes pasta finishes cooking its last couple minutes into the sauce. So you can create a nice, very al dente pasta dish that creates a lot of flavor for the pasta. And as you can see here, it's nice and creamy, nice velvety sauce
Trying
here.
to really marry those flavors
Yep.
together, and obviously, Chef Joe, that's like a cardinal sin in the Italian world. If you overdo the pasta,
Overcooked
it's
pasta.
a wrap,
That's right. So what we do is take it to our dish.
I can smell the nice sausage. Is that Romano or Parmesan?
This is just a little bit of fresh grated Parmigiano Reggiano.
All right, Chef Joe, this is the true test, right?
This is a true test right here.
Okay. So
Make sure you get a little bit of that arugula.
I was gonna say, do you suggest I get a little bit of everything in the bite?
Everything in that bite.
All right.
You get a little bit of the bitterness from the arugula and the sweetness from the sauce.
Here we go. Wow. I can taste the sweetness of the sausage, and that fennel in there, which is that traditional Italian vibe.
Yep.
And then a little bit of bitterness from the arugula, but then you've got the little dressed olive oil in there, the creaminess in there. You're
Salsa
tasting.
from the cheese.
Oh, all right. So I'm going in for another one. I just want to make sure that I tasted right. Chef, are you kidding me right now? This is where it's at. Are you kidding me? Well, I'm gonna ask for you, Chef, and I appreciate
ask
your
for me.
time. Thank you. You did
very much.
wonders
Thank you
with
for
this.
coming in.
Continue the good work and
Thank
continue
you.
with the fresh ingredients. People are gonna love us. You gotta check out Gaudino's and make sure you say hi to Chef Joe. See you here, okay?
Thank you very much.
Thanks again. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
All right, so I'm joined today with Mr. Sal Rubino. How you doing, boss? How are you?
I'm good, Stefan. How are you?
Good, good. So I understand here at Gaudino's you make some really phenomenal sandwiches. Is that correct?
I make the best sandwiches in the world. I'm telling you right now. If you eat this sandwich, you're not going to have another Italian sandwich anywhere else.
Is that right?
That's right.
All right, that's some big words there.
That's right.
So I'm going to hold you to it. So I wanted you to walk me through, since you are the sub master here, if you will, of some of the components of what's your most famous sub?
Our famous is what I'm going to make here right now. It's the number one. It's called the famous Italian. So should we get right into it?
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
definitely get into it. Let's go.
We use quality bread. This bread is made especially for us. It's beautiful, this bread. It's kind of a Tuscan style. We put a little cornmeal on it. It comes from Continental Bakery. It's a local baker here. They delivered bread here when we had the store here back
Okay.
in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it must be a local bakery or you make it in-house,
Yeah.
right?
So
Okay.
what we're going to do is we're going to split the bread in half. I take out the guts because we don't want all this bread. You don't need all.
So that's saving some
'cause that's where
calories
this
already.
comes from.
So that's saving some
That's
calories
right.
already. Taking out.
So
taking
we're going to
out-
get rid
okay.
of. We're going to get rid of some of the guts on here.
I do that when I make sandwiches at home. I do the same thing.
And this is what I
Little
did
trick.
at home, and this is why I brought it here to Gaudino's. Okay. So what we're going to start is we use extra virgin olive oil,
Oh yes, the best.
little on,
Okay.
and then oregano. That oregano brings out the flavor in the olive oil.
Absolutely.
itself.
Okay.
So what we have here, we have our Genoa salami, sweet capicola, and our deluxe ham. So we'll take this, we fold this
Fold it up
over,
nice and tight.
and we're going to put it on the bottom half.
Tuck it in.
That's right.
There we go.
There we go. No,
Okay.
this is the bottom half. There. Hey, how about that? And we use shredded lettuce, shredded every day, fresh. And then we use quality Roma tomatoes.
So now, to get back to the lettuce, I'm a personal fan of shredded lettuce
Well, this-
over the leaf lettuce, and I'll tell you why. It just I don't know, has a better crunch to it. You don't
Yes.
have a piece like falling out. It stays in the
Right.
sandwich.
It's
a little
a
bit.
better texture, mouthfeel when you're biting into it.
Yeah.
And it's a little more fresher tasting.
Yes.
The other
Agreed.
one's softer, like a leaf lettuce is softer, doesn't have that crunch like you said. Oh, wait
Agreed,
a minute.
100%.
You know what we did? I'm busy talking. We forgot the provolone cheese, the most important part.
Okay.
All right? So you got me going over here.
I'm getting
All right.
excited to eat it. So
Okay,
that's
there
it
we go.
for
See,
me.
so you're gonna see it. This is nice and fresh here.
Okay.
Nice provolone cheese,
Okay.
slicing provolone we use. Oh, there you go.
Now, can we dress it
Okay.
up with some of the other
So,
good stuff here?
okay, what we're gonna do is we put some purple onion, Italian onion.
Okay.
And then we put sweet banana peppers on here. Now we also have, if you want, hot and sweet giardiniera that we'll put on for you too. So we can customize the subs for you if you want.
Okay.
That's not a problem. So we'll add a little more oregano on top.
Okay.
We'll drizzle it with extra virgin olive
So I
oil.
see there's something special in that
That's
container.
coming. That's coming.
Okay, so I
We're
just
gonna.
wanna make sure
Okay,
we don't
that's
forget
coming.
that. Okay.
There we go. And so we're gonna pick it, and we're gonna slice it. Let's get rid of some of this.
Okay.
Let's plate it up here.
All right.
Look at that.
There we go.
Now, they forced the resistance. Is that what they say? Is that how they say it? I don't know. Forget about
works
it.
for
The
me,
good
right?
stuff. Our special sub sauce. You won't get this anywhere else. This is a secret sauce that we make here.
Can you share any of the ingredients in that secret sub sauce?
It's got red wine vinegar. How about
That's all
that?
you get? And salt and pepper,
Well, a little pepper, no salt.
Okay.
So we're gonna put a
That
little
looks
on
good.
here.
All right.
So when we serve it, this is the way we serve it.
Okay.
And a lot of people ask for extra sub sauce. So what we're gonna do now, let's taste this baby.
Yeah. So Sal, will you share the sandwich with me? Can we?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But first, let's put a little of that sub sauce on there. How
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah.
huh?
Let's do that. Let's do it.
You want to pour yours? Or you want me to
No,
pour
go
some
ahead.
on?
I trust you.
pour a little on for you?
There you go. Okay.
Pour a little on mine.
All right. Make sure you pat it down.
Mom's gonna kill me because it's almost dinner time, but
Is it?
you can't resist.
Can't beat
this.
these subs.
Huh?
I mean, this is where it's at. Cheers.
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 Wow.
Now, I'm speechless.
I've asked for
Yeah,
more.
I'm speechless. Yeah, I mean, the creaminess of that sub sauce. You got that little vinegar, a little tang in there, but it just dresses over the whole thing. I can taste the nice tomatoes. You got a little sweetness to it, great texture. That lettuce, perfectly shredded.
I gotta have another bite.
No, go ahead, go talk. Well, I tell them how delicious this is. The saltiness of all the lunch meat in there. I mean, the bread is the right consistency. It's not too hard where you're breaking your jaw.
No.
But it's just enough to give you some bite, so it's not too soft
That's
either.
what's nice about the
Yeah.
bread. It's crusty enough. It's not real crusty, but it's crusty enough that
Right.
you don't get that crumbs all over the place. So what do you think?
So I think you know a little bit about what you're doing.
There you go.
So these are a great opportunity for lunchtime snack or evening pickup or whatnot. You make all kinds of sandwiches here. You guys customize them, so even better yet. So even if it's not lunch, even for a Super Bowl or a sports event, grab yourself some subs.
Yeah,
This is
we
where it's
do
at, for sure.
sandwich platters. You know, we have a 2-foot sub on our catering menu that we make. We'll make the same kind of sub for them. Sub sauce comes with it. But yeah, we have everything here for a party that you need. We have olives. We have a complete lunch meat deli here. You can come in and buy lunch meat by the pound. We got it all here, and prepared foods.
That's fantastic. And I'm going to take some of that special sauce with me. I'm going to drink it, I think. Can I take some of that to drink? That's
So a customer told me the other day, said, I drink that stuff.
So I mean, you've got the subs, you've got the pastas, pizzas. I want to get to the really core of the business, that sausage, that crown jewel. Can you show me how to make that?
Absolutely. Let's go into our famous sausage cooler. You'll not see another sausage cooler like this anywhere where we make sausage.
Let's go check it out.
We love Gaudino.
Sal. So we just had a fantastic sandwich. Now this is the claim to fame where Gaudino's is most famous for, and that is the sausage.
Right, this is what we're most famous for. My father-in-law started this recipe back in 1948 when they opened the store back on Mack and Drexel. And we carried it here into St. Clair Shores when he opened this store in 1970, and we're carrying on the tradition here today, 30 years later after we closed the store. My brother-in-law Tom and my sister-in-law Jo Marie put this thing together and honored my father-in-law by bringing the sausage back. So let me tell you a little bit about sausage. Our sausage is made with 100% pork butts, strictly pork butts, and then our secret recipe that we make it with. Dave, you want to push a little out and we'll see?
All right.
Dave here is our sausage maker extraordinaire.
All right, Dave.
He's been making sausage here for a while. He makes several different kinds of sausage. You know, we add a little bit of water to it so it mixes better in the machine.
Sure.
So we have a machine, we grind it, we mix it,
Okay.
we stuff it out here, it hangs there. Tomorrow we'll take this and we'll put it in the counter nice and fresh.
Nice.
tiramisu is actually made in our kitchen in the back.
Is that right?
Yes, so if you want some tiramisu, we need to go back into the kitchen and we can get you some tiramisu.
So do you think you can make an exception for me to have to try that a bit?
I think we might be able to make a little exception for
All right,
you.
let's do it.
All right, let's go.
All right, Jo Marie, so this is your world famous tiramisu?
It is.
All right, I figure we'd definitely have a little taste before we head out.
Great.
So, is that okay with you?
Absolutely. Dig in.
All right, let's do it. Super creamy, the layers, I mean, you got that nice robust coffee flavor, but not too much. The cocoa at the top and the creamy layers, really smooth, just delicious.
Good.
Absolutely wonderful.
Good.
You
Well,
did a great job.
Stefano, thank you so much for choosing Gaudino's to do one of your shows. We're so happy to have you here.
It's an absolute pleasure. I can't wait to continue to shop here, and I'm going to continue to eat, but thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wonderful family history.
Great.
You're very blessed, and I wish you continued success.
Thank you. Thank you
Make sure
so much.
Check out Gaudino's, and maybe
right.
see Jo Marie there, all right?
You will.
Have a good one.
All right,
Thank
thanks.
you. Well, all right, that was a wrap. Gaudino's in the books. I was shopping, eating, and meeting great family in there, such as Jo Marie and the rest of the crew. I want to thank you for joining me on this episode of The Food Fanatic. I also want to send a shout out to Mike and his crew at Hardcore Italians for hooking me up with this really cool gear. Make sure you check out the code at the end of this episode to get your discount on some cool gear. And I want to thank everybody again. We'll see you next time. Remember to work hard, play hard, and of course, eat well. We'll see you then.